welcome back to our YouTube channel, The Indian Pharmacist. In the past video, we had discussed about the pharmaceutical quality assurance, basic introduction, and approaches to QA. In the current video, we will discuss about pharmaceutical quality and how pharmaceutical quality assurance helps in maintaining pharmaceutical quality. So, my name is Rishabh Srivastava, and let's start the video. So first of all, I would like to make an appeal to like this video, to share it with your friends, to make comments and subscribe the channel and press the notification bell so that you can get the notification for every video that I will upload on my channel. So what is quality of pharmaceutical product? So as in most manufacturing processes, the quality of a final pharmaceutical product is determined by starting materials, equipment, and technical know-how that go into the producing and packaging it. It means whatever materials are used in the manufacturing of the product determine the product quality of the product. Similarly, if the equipment are qualified and are of good quality, it can be assumed that product manufactured is of good quality. When we are saying technical know-how, it means training of the personnel. It means personnel involved in the manufacturing and packaging of the product. Unlike a steel bolt or a tailored suit, however, a medicine is a dynamic product whose color, consistency, weight, and even chemical identity can change between manufacturing and ultimate consumption. For that reason, we are performing stability analysis. Here, uh, for an example, you can see tablets of ascorbic acid. They can get discolored during retain period. A medicine that passes all laboratory tests upon receipt may be useless within a few months if the packaging, storage, and transportation conditions are not maintained properly. For that reason, we are performing stability studies, we are performing packaging suitabilities, transport validations, and similar other studies to assure that whatever product reaches to the patient is of good quality. Purpose of quality assurance in pharmaceutical supply system is to help ensure that each medicine reaching a patient is safe, effective, and of appropriate quality. The quality of pharmaceutical products is ensured by the technical and managerial activities of the quality system, which involves, when I am saying technical activities, include evaluating documentation, performing or reviewing QC tests, and monitoring product performance, while managerial activities include selecting reliable suppliers, preparing contract terms, monitoring supplier performance, and performing inspection procedure throughout the distribution network. So, when I am saying for pharmaceutical quality, so now comes the quality assurance framework. How this framework works. There are 5 critical parameters or elements which are expected that these elements shall be complied so that pharmaceutical product can treat a patient. First of all is active pharmaceutical ingredient or API has been shown to be safe and effective for this treatment. It means whatever API or component is given to the patient is effective and safe. Second, product is of suitable quality to provide an effective outcome. And when we are saying quality, it means quality, safety, efficacy, identity, and strength of the product. Third, prescriber accurately identified the need for the treatment. It should be always assumed that whatever medicine is prescribed to the patient is required for that treatment. It should not be there that if the patient is requiring paracetamol and we are prescribing him some other drug. Fourth, prescriber or dispenser has properly instructed the patient on how to use the product. It means sometimes a product should be taken twice a day or once a day. This type of instruction should be clearly given to the patient. Last but not the least, patient complies with the prescribed regimen correctly. Whatever instruction is given to the patient is complying it accurately. The first two items are product specific issues which are most easily addressed technically, whereas items 3 and 4 are practitioner specific and depend on the prescriber's education, knowledge and skill, as well as the rigorous enforcement of the performance standards. Item 5 is a patient specific issue that depends on the patient's knowledge and commitment and the patient's access to services. The safety and effectiveness of an API may be established either through a review of historical usage, such as in the case of digoxin evolution from the foxglove plant, that is Digitalis purpurea, or through complex procedures established for new chemical entities such as those described by the International Conference on Harmonization of Technical Requirements for Registration of Pharmaceuticals for Human Use, that is ICH guidelines. Regulation of manufacturing, importation and distribution. There are some regulatory requirements which are involved during the regulation or manufacturing of product or importing any pharmaceutical product or distribution of a pharmaceutical product. These include quality of manufacturing, that means GMP, a plant which is involved in the manufacturing of the product that is supposed to export some product to some other country should qualify as per the standards of that importing country. Procurement integrity, that is assuring the qualifications of supplier, that means whosoever supplier it is, it should be qualified, validated and should be complying with the GMP requirements. Quality of medicines in the distribution system, including product and premises inspection and product screening and testing. Similarly, regulation of medicine promotion and information, including post-marketing, pharmacovigilance and consumer education. It is not always the case that initially clinical assessment has been performed and the product is launched into the market. But even after a product is launched into the market, pharmaceutical manufacturers or the sponsors have the responsibility to assess it, what is the effect of that product after marketing, because when it is marketed in in any country, there are so many people from different races or different type of dietary habits or different types of uh, ailment conditions. So how this product is performing on different people, it is required to be assessed. Of course, a country's QA system is only as effective as its ability to monitor and enforce regulations. A country should address all issues at some level as part of a basic pharmaceutical QA infrastructure. However, in a resource constrained setting, the risk to patients for each process must be assessed so resources can be allocated to focus on the most significant health threats. So these were the framework or how quality assurance system works. But how we can assess the pharmaceutical quality of any product? So pharmaceutical quality can be defined and tested in many ways. Quality standards are published periodically in pharmacopoeias and some other government publications. Like in India, we have Indian Pharmacopoeia, or sometimes we are having Gazette of India, which provides detailed description of pharmaceutical characteristics and analytical techniques. See, standards may vary slightly from one pharmacopoeia to another, so a particular pharmaceutical product may meet the standards of one pharmacopoeia and not those of another. When public standards have not been established, as is generally the case for newly marketed product, the analytical method developed by the manufacturer and submitted as a part of the tender or marketing authorization requirements are usually applied. The major pharmaceutical manufacturing and exporting countries publish their own pharmacopoeias, as on a regional basis, like European Pharmacopoeia establishes standards enforced into the European Union, and others have to adopt them if they want to manufacture product intended for European market. Similarly, International Pharmacopoeia published by WHO, US Pharmacopoeia and National Formulary by US. Similarly, we have British Pharmacopoeia, Indian Pharmacopoeia or Japanese Pharmacopoeia. One important limitation of European Pharmacopoeia is that it provides few specifications for individual dosage forms, while WHO International Pharmacopoeia includes monographs on finished dosage forms, including antiretrovirals and newly developed anti-malarial medicines. Analytical procedures in the US Pharmacopoeia tend to use complex and expensive technology, which may be beyond the reach of many developing countries. The European, Japanese, and US pharmacopoeia are engaged in ongoing efforts to harmonize some of their standards, but progress is slow. Until common standards are finally achieved, purchases must specify which dosage form standards are acceptable. Similarly, some major pharmacopoeias around the world are Indian Pharmacopoeia, US Pharmacopoeia and National Formulary, British Pharmacopoeia, Japanese Pharmacopoeia. For pharmaceutical procurement organizations, pharmaceutical quality is assessed as products compliance with specifications concerning identity, purity, strength, potency, and other characteristics. Some major specifications include identity. Identity test should confirm the existence of the active ingredient indicated on the label. This characteristic is generally the easiest to check. It is most probably checked through IR or through HPLC retention time. Second is purity. In addition to the presence of the API, most pharmaceuticals are made with ingredients added for bulk, consistency, or color. These ingredients are commonly called as excipients. These should not contain potentially harmful contaminants or microorganisms. The product should not have significant quantities of other products from cross contamination. Third one is strength. It is also called as potency. The medicines should contain the declared amount of API. Harmful byproducts of degradation must be absent or should be below defined limits. Most pharmacopoeias specify an average content range, such as 90 to 110% of the amount written on the label, rather than an exact amount. To ensure a long shelf life, manufacturers often use pharmaceuticals with maximum allowable amount, for example, 110 mg rather than 95 mg, which provides a margin for safety for slight losses in strength or potency over time. Thereafter, uniformity of dosage forms. The consistency, color, shape, and size of tablets, capsules, creams, and liquids should not vary from one dose to the next. If you found a tablet in a blister of red color while the other tablet in the same blister is of white color, it indicated that the tablet may have degraded or is getting contaminated, or there is some mix up of the product. To avoid this type of confusion, this parameter is required. Any lack of uniformity may suggest problem with other quality parameters such as identity, purity or strength. Lack of dosage uniformity may not influence the safety or effectiveness of the medicine, but it does reflect a lack of good manufacturing practices, which could influence the acceptability of the product to pharmacists medical practitioners, and patients. Thereafter, bioavailability. It refers to the speed and completeness with which a pharmaceutical administered in a specific form enters the bloodstream. It means what percentage of the dose has entered the bloodstream. The bioavailability of a product may depend on other ingredients used in the formulation, such as solvents, binder, coloring agents, and coatings, or how ingredients are combined. The comparative bioavailability of two pharmaceuticals is particularly important when a product that is usually purchased from one manufacturer is replaced with a product containing the same drug substance in the same dosage form and in the same amount, but manufactured by a different firm. Even though the products contain the correct amount of the API, the preparation may not give the expected therapeutic result if the API is released too quickly, too slowly, or incompletely when they are compared. Two pharmaceuticals are said to be bioequivalent and may be used interchangeably if both are absorbed into the bloodstream at the same rate and to the same extent. Thereafter comes the parameter of stability. To be useful, a pharmaceutical must retain its properties within specified limits, such as particular storage conditions. The manufacturer, and in some cases a country's DRA, that is Drug Regulatory Affairs, establish the time that a pharmaceutical's stability is under warranty, which ends with the expiration date. A product's stability depends on the active ingredient, which can be affected by its formulation and packaging. Improper storage and distribution can lead to the physical deterioration and chemical decomposition that resulted in reduced potency and occasionally formation of toxic byproducts of degradation. These effects are more likely to occur under tropical conditions of high temperature and humidity like India or equatorial countries like African countries. WHO has published a list of pharmaceutical substances that are less stable of medicines under the true field conditions. The ICH, whose members comprise experts from the major pharmaceutical manufacturing countries, has established guidelines on quality testing and storage in tropical regions. Thereafter, when we are assessing the quality of the product, what shall be the consequences of poor quality of the product? Here, a poor quality medicine is one that does not meet specifications. Be clear, a poor quality medicine is one that does not meet specifications. The use of poor quality products may have undesirable clinical and economic effects, as well as affect the credibility of the health delivery system. Clinical effects can include prolonged illness or even death, or some adverse reactions. On the economic side, limited financial resources may be wasted on poor quality medicines. Lack of therapeutic effect may lead to prolonged illness or death. Poor pharmaceutical quality can sometimes lead to serious health consequences. For example, the use of poor quality cardiac medicines and medicines for seizures and asthma, with others such as cold remedies and minor painkillers, a reduction of up to 50% in the content of the active ingredient may not have serious consequences. Poor quality pharmaceuticals may induce toxic or adverse reactions. When some products expire or are exposed to adverse climatic conditions like excessive heat or humidity, they may undergo physical or chemical changes that can result in the formation of possibly toxic degradation products. Although fear of toxic pharmaceutical degradation in tropical countries is prevalent, tetracycline is the only common medicine which is known to occur. Excessive active ingredients may also lead to toxic or adverse reactions. So again, I would like to make an appeal to like this video if you like it, Share it with your friends and colleagues and students so that it could reach to the maximum population. Make comments if you have any query or if you have any uh, suggestion so that I can make new videos. And last but not the least, subscribe the channel and press the notification bell. Similarly, if you have any query, you can follow me on my Facebook page and raise your queries there. My Facebook page account is @Rishabh Srivastav345. You can also follow me on Twitter, that is @Rishabh345. For more information, you can also check for the books as depicted below. At the end, thank you